Our next guest has sold millions upon millions of books over the past 10 or 15 years. Say hello and good morning, Mr. David Baldacci. Great to have you with us, David.
Thank you.
You got a brand new one out, and it's called The Target. And the synopsis of the book: President of the United States knows it's a high-risk assignment. If he takes out the target successfully, he's a superhero. If he doesn't, it's impeachment, worse, and the United States faces a lot of dangers. Wow, that's a mind blower. How do you wrap your mind around these ideas for your novels? And they just seem to keep getting better and better and better.
You know, I've always been curious about life, and I love politics. I love that world, and there's a lot going on. And I've always felt I was bound by plausibility, but these days what's plausible seems to be anything I can possibly imagine. So.
This is the third novel featuring Will and Jessica. Give us the quick 20-second executive synopsis on these two talented individuals.
Yeah, they're two government assassins, probably the best we have, and they've come up through the years. In the last book, The Hit, they were adversaries. Now they're allies. They've been tasked by the president to take on this mission. If it goes badly, things will fall apart. Of course, since it's one of my books, things go badly, things do fall apart, and they actually become the target in this novel.
This is the third novel featuring those two characters. Does this get easier with, has this gotten easier since the first one, or is it a little trickier to make this story as good as it is?
Yeah, it's a little of both. It's gotten easier just because I know their backstories and I built that foundation, but you need to take them in unique directions, and I don't want to write the same book over and over again. So to keep the relationship going, that tricky balance of, you know, the sexual tension, you can only do that once, and you can't put the genie back in the bottle after you do that. So that's kind of a tricky balance.
As a fan of all of your books, I have to ask you, what kind of research do you do when you're writing something like this? Because your details are absolutely dead on. I mean, there's no, if you want to know how something works, read this David Baldacci book. How do you really do the research for that to have it all come together so cleanly?
I almost always visit the places that I write about. I drew an exception with North Korea. I thought if I went over there, I might not come back, so I wouldn't be able to write the book. But I go to a lot of the places that I write about. I try to do a lot of the things that my characters do. I research the things as meticulously as I possibly can. I don't Wikipedia stuff. That's no fair to the reader or to me. So I really get down in the trenches.
All right, we're running out of time. I wanted to ask you one quick question. The Wish You Well Foundation that you and your wife have established, tell us a little bit about that. Don't want to let you get away without putting in a plug for that wonderful, wonderful work.
Yeah, we've funded literacy programs across the United States, pretty much all 50 states. We also collect books and ship them to local area food banks across the country. We've donated over 1 million books in the last 4 years, so people seeking food assistance can go home with books as well.
Wow, 1 million books over just the past 4 years. That's absolutely incredible, just like this new book is called The Target. David Baldacci, thank you so much. And if we don't see you back here on TV, I'm sure you will. We'll see you at the top of the bestseller list for weeks and weeks and weeks.